Lorne Epstein here. I'm excited about attending my first social recruiting strategies conference in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, this August 6th, 7th, and 8th. Over 3 days, you and I will be immersed in interactive learning experiences that'll teach us today's most effective recruiting strategies and techniques. The world's best recruiting experts are coming from CVS, Siemens, and AMC networks, amongst others. Don't miss out on the fun and learning. Register today at socialrecruitingstrategies.com. Here's the deal. My friends at Brazen have spent the last year writing the book on recruiting chatbots. It's jam-packed with tons of the best practices and examples of companies who are successfully using chatbots to hire the best talent. We're talking companies like Walgreens, USAA, and Presidio. And because you're a listener of my show, they want to send you a free copy of the book. Just head over to brazen.com/chatbots to get a free copy today. You can get a copy sent to your door for postage, or you can download the digital version right now. Don't wait, because the book is flying off the shelves. And as a bonus, if you sign up today, they'll send you their #1 downloaded ebook on winning the war for talent. Again, go to brazen.com/chatbots to get all this for free today. Welcome back to another episode of the Lorne Epstein Show. I'm your host, Lorne Epstein. With me today is a former recruiter and now head of a major recruiting technology company, the CEO of Recruitics, Josh Gampel.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show, Josh.
Thanks for having me.
So you were telling me that you had started recruiting, like you cut your teeth for 7 years.
Yeah.
And what was that like?
Oh, it was the grind, right?
Yeah.
It was a great time. Got to know exactly what it's like to be in the seat looking for candidates. I focused on search engine marketing recruitment when I started.
And when was this?
2004.
Okay.
And so LinkedIn was just becoming popular, and I wanted to take the easy way out and find candidates that already knew how to make themselves found. In search engine marketing, candidates stuffed their LinkedIn profiles with keywords, and so it made it easy for me. And all I had to do was get the job order.
Right.
And so I started just using the network and started to get active at conferences and turned that into a staffing firm with some other folks, and created really a digital marketing and creative staffing firm, and really more on the temp side, and search engine marketing recruitment was more of the perm side of the business. And that certainly matured over the years.
So your staff kind of gave you up about something I should ask you.
Oh boy.
Because I was looking at them and they all have beards. And I was like, do you have to have a beard to join Recruitics?
You do not.
You do not. And so how do you feel about beards?
I'm not against them. And looking at the staff, they need to shave. Would be my comment.
Need to shave.
They need to shave and clean up a little bit.
Yeah, I shaved.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
I didn't shave enough today, though.
No, so you're not being photographed. So we were going to have this conversation. We're getting a little audience now. Yeah. Craig Fisher's here. Hey, Craig.
Hey, Lorne. He has a beard, too.
Yeah, but his wife likes it. We were just talking about how all the guys at Recruitics have beards. Yeah. And Josh is a beard, not.
I'm okay with it.
You're okay.
Yeah.
All right. See, he's okay with it, guys. It's okay. You're all safe there. So we were going to have this conversation about movies.
Yeah.
Right. And so I was thinking about, because you're a movie guy.
Yeah. I love
right.
movies.
And do you like movies for the story, like the whole notion of story, or what is it about movies that captures you?
What a good question. So I think it's the experience. And, I have my man room in my basement, which is now really dominated by my 2 kids.
Yeah.
I have 2 girls,
Nice.
5 and 8 years old. Half of my basement is a projection screen with classic 90 movies.
Nice.
Die Hard, Back to the Future, to name a few. And I like the sound. I like the experience. I really like going to IMAX movies. And I was thinking about this just the other day with somebody. We were talking, and I vividly remember the first time I saw Jurassic Park in a theater, and the music and the way it made you feel.
How old were you?
I was 13, 14 maybe, and I went there for my birthday, the very first Jurassic Park. and the memory and the feeling that movies give when you just immerse yourself into a story for a few hours.
Totally.
It's really the only way I can not look at my phone too,
Yeah.
and not look at email. So yeah, I'm a big movie buff.
I love movies, and I realized why I love movies as I got more into the idea of story. So my first movie was that I remember. Well, my parents took me to see Barbarella when I was like 3, which was like not the movie because my parents were idiots.
Yeah.
But when I was about 10, my dad took me to see Star Wars.
Yeah.
And I will not forget that.
Yeah.
But when I sit in the theater, because that's how we grew up, right?
Yeah.
We sat in the theater, and it's usually cool, and the lights go down. That moment is like so exciting.
The anticipation is also just as good as the excitement of about to watch that movie you've been looking forward to.
100%.
Yeah.
Recently, I say maybe 7-8 years ago, I started reading Joseph Campbell. Do you know Joseph Campbell?
No.
You should read Joseph Campbell. So he's dead now, but he talked about story. He researched story, and he came up with the idea, or at least he solidified the idea of the hero's journey, which is a lot of good movies. Star Wars is the hero's journey. And his notion, the premise is that all stories around the world throughout history are kind of focused on the hero's journey.
Yeah.
Where, somebody comes from like, a person comes, meets their guide, goes into another world, has, lots of like challenges, and then comes back with a prize. I mean, there's more to it.
Yeah.
But it's this circle. And I think for those of us who really love movies, I think a lot of us do, it's like at some level, it's a quest to understand our own lives.
Yeah.
And to see our own lives, like to identify and to understand.
Yeah.
So the conversation I wanted to have was, think of a movie, and I'll throw some movies out, where somebody was hired in the movie, and we'll talk about the hiring process. And it could be hired like maybe they were actually hired, or maybe they just kind of volunteered hired.
All right.
And how did it go?
So there's I may not remember the exact name. I think it's just called The Intern, with Robert De Niro.
Yes.
And he's retired, worked in the newspaper factory that this new .com startup was in. I believe it's called The Intern. And it's got the typical arc of a movie where, he comes in and they don't think he's going to be right for the job because, he doesn't have the tech skills, and he just becomes the one that's the wise person that helps them guide them through all the different situations. And so that comes to mind right out of the gate.
Yeah, so how was when he applied, did he apply? Or he just was there?
Yeah, no, he applied.
He applied?
Yeah.
And they hired him. How was the vetting process?
I'm trying to think of that one. I believe it was quick.
It was quick?
Yeah, I don't remember.
Right. So we don't even know why they hired him, but they hired him.
Yeah.
He didn't seem like a fit. So really, like up front, you could say this is not going to be a good hire.
Oh,
Yeah, it's not a good hire.
That would have ruined the movie, but
yeah, and then they didn't really onboard him, right? Because they didn't integrate him into the. But then, because he's such a strong candidate, he makes himself fit.
Yeah, wowed over the CEO and changed her perspective.
Yeah, and that's possible, right? You've had people so we don't always give people a chance to do that.
Yeah,
but that's an interesting one. So you remember the Devil's Wear Prada?
Yes.
That's a recent movie, right?
Yeah.
Where she was hired, and she didn't know what she was getting herself. No, like real onboarding process, right? She thought it was going to be something else. She gets there, and she realizes how serious her boss is.
Yeah.
How serious she takes this, and the life lessons she learns.
Yeah. Yeah. Same actress, actually. I believe that's in both movies. Anne Hathaway. I think she's in both.
In The Intern?
I think she's in The Intern and The Devil Wears Prada.
Oh my God, we could Google it.
Yeah, we're gonna have to look at that though.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of times, you don't know. It's really a leap of faith by the employer, by the employee. You kind of court each other in the interview process.
Totally.
You assess, the qualifications for the job. I just did air quotes, but nobody could see those. But you assess the qualifications for the job, and you don't know whether it's going to be a fit or not until they dive right in. And I see you pulling it up.
By the way.
Anne Hathaway is in The Intern. Yeah.
That's funny. She's in both those movies.
Yeah. And so you have to kind of go through the vetting process, almost like dating. Do you get along? Do you see this? Do you have the same worldview? I'm a big believer in Seth Godin's perspective of worldview and how you look at the world. And then you get in, and then you go through training, and it's an overloading amount of information thrown at you, usually in too short of a period of time. And then you get thrown into the job, and then you realize that you didn't have enough context in the training to do the job. And so hopefully it works out. And a lot of the things that we want to look at just really hiring our own people. How do we qualify them? How do we attract them? How do we ensure that they're a good fit?
Yeah.
How do we measure that success over time?
You think about like when sports teams hire athletes, right?
Yeah.
They have all this real data.
Yeah.
They've seen this person perform,
Yeah.
really, and they hire them, and often it fails.
Yeah.
There's stories of like world-class directors and actors getting hired for a movie and getting fired.
Yeah.
And you think, okay, so this is like not just my office, right? I mean, I'm talking on this show now to you who run a company or you're in a company and you're hiring people. Like, why is it that we make bad hires and why am I to blame when we do?
Yeah.
It happens to everyone.
Everyone. Yeah. And it's hard. It's costly. It takes up a lot of time.
And you're surprised sometimes, right?
I'm surprised a lot of times.
Surprised, like,
wow.
wow.
I'm surprised in both ways.
Yeah.
It works on both sides. I've been fortunate in my career. I've hired a lot of people. And I feel like I have a good gut instinct of whether somebody will work out or not. And then I also like taking chances on people if they show certain signs of initiative in the interview process. They may not have the right skills, but if they take initiative, that's the majority. I want somebody that has, we look at it, do they have high skill and do they have high will? Or do they have high skill and low will, or low skill and low will? I want high will overall.
Yeah.
And then the skill has to be there, or the willingness to improve the skills.
So let me ask you a question. That's great. So for what you're doing, you want somebody with a high will.
Yeah.
Would you want that for every job?
Some jobs you need really high skill.
But some jobs you need low will.
Yeah.
Could you think of a job that you'd need low will?
That's a tough one.
Like you don't want someone to be like too big for their britches, right?
Yeah. I mean, so for the clients that we recruit for, they're all across the spectrum. So
or is that important? Is that always important?
It's
I don't mean for you, but just in
for
general.
my company.
Yeah, for your company,
for
sure.
Recruitics.
But I mean, like in general, like in the workforce, is that a good measure for people to look at? And when is it like that's not important here?
It depends on if you have the ability to offer that person a career growth and career path. Is the way I look at it.
Right.
If you do, then you want somebody with high will that's going to be striving to achieve that greater something. What's next?
Yeah.
There's a lot of companies out there that need somebody to take a job. And there's a lot of,
exactly.
Unemployment
it's just filling a seat because they need someone to do the thing.
Yeah. I mean, but the way unemployment.
So the will is not that big deal. Like, and not even jobs for young people, but jobs.
Yeah. I'd like to think that will
Probably most jobs.
I'd like to think will should trump all. Candidly.
I agree with you, but you know what? Like, you look at America, right? We got 300 plus million people. A lot of those jobs are like working in a factory or, like a meat processing plant or something like that, where you just got to do your thing.
Yeah.
Don't say anything, just do your thing. Don't get hurt.
Yeah. Yeah. And, there's a huge portion of our workforce that does that.
Yeah.
And some of those are underemployed, and some of those can really be doing other jobs because they have the will. They usually don't stay there.
Right.
And it's why there's a huge turnover rate in those type of jobs. And, clients and clients of ours are constantly recruiting for that profile. There is a huge need for that type of worker, but that type of worker has a very short lifespan at that company, in most times. Now, there's also factory workers, and there's a significant portion of our global workforce that stays in jobs for 20, 30 years, and builds up the skills within those to get promoted within that company. But there is a high turnover in that specific area.
So I want to do another movie.
Sure.
But I want to ask you, so folks who are listening may have not heard of Recruitics. It's a cool name.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Recruitment and analytics. I'm wearing the T-shirt.
Yeah, I mean, because it's like one word. Like a lot of companies have two words, and then it's funny because as they grow, then they drop one word.
Yeah.
But what does Recruitics do?
Yeah, thanks for asking. So we're a recruitment marketing agency, and
just so everyone knows, it's not like a plug for, but I'm just curious. Like,
yeah,
tell us,
what's the
problem that you guys solve?
We provide really good data and analytics on what's happening with your job advertising strategy. And we do that through the technology that we've developed. So we've developed an analytics and programmatic technology to allow you to understand exactly what's happening to your jobs when you advertise across sites like Indeed, LinkedIn, Career Builder, ZipRecruiter, Jobs to Careers. There's hundreds of publishers out there that are sending traffic that employers are paying for.
Are you in between my ATS and the world of where all these places go?
Exactly. I sit right in between the ATS or the career site, and we do the distribution of your jobs, which are your content, and we help you advertise those across the different publishers out there.
Right. So that's really cool because having led recruiting teams, you get a budget,
Yeah.
or you say I want to spend here, and they say okay, I want to spend here, and you never really know what does well.
Right.
You get a gut of what does well. Like I know there have been times when Monster was just like it for me.
Yeah.
Like I could just live on Monster.
Yeah.
And then there are times when like LinkedIn is it.
Yeah.
But I don't have that data.
Yeah.
And now with having ATSs and these systems that are pushing out jobs, this is really critical for a recruiting leader to make a decision based on numbers.
Yeah.
Like it's simple. Like it doesn't matter how you feel, if you like it, you don't like it, if it's a good company or not a good company. Here's the numbers. It produced this many hits, and I can relate that to the hires, right? All the way through.
Right, exactly, all the way through, and exactly how much it cost. There's a saying from.
And it could be referrals, it could be colleges, anything.
Exactly.
So is it like a bit of code that you just a snippet of code that goes in there and it just tracks that?
Yep, we created our own analytics, so it's one bit of code. It goes on the outbound feed or the distribution, so you have a URL tracking that allows us to track it all the way through. And then we connect it to the cost. So we identify exactly how much you spent on that job or on that segment of talent acquisition groupings of people. Yeah. If you're building a talent pool, we want to understand how much does it cost you to acquire that segment. And there's an old quote from the late 1800s, a gentleman named John Wanamaker, who's considered like the king of advertising. And it's half of your advertising budget is wasted. You just don't know which half.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Everybody's heard that before.
Yeah.
You just referenced it as well.
Yeah.
We help you identify exactly what's working and what's not. And there's a lot of jobs you don't need to spend any money on. And then there's a segment of your jobs that you need to spend a lot of money. And really, it's not just about helping you advertise, it's helping you target exactly which jobs you should be advertising.
So what's changed with the internet is that we can have this, action marketing, right?
Yeah.
Engagement marketing, where you're actually, people have to do stuff with your ad. But there is a lot of marketing, brand marketing particularly, that if there isn't brand marketing and I don't know why I should apply, then you're not going to get that.
Exactly.
Do you have any solution around brand marketing? So and I say this only because that's what my sponsors do on my show, right? So I have sponsors like Smart Recruiters who put ads in my shows, and then my shows get shared with, tens of thousands of HRTA professionals. Now they don't know what the result is because, I can say how many people heard it or that, but they don't know what the end result is as far as dollars and cents.
Yeah.
Is there anything for brand marketing?
Sure. So we're at the Smashfly conference, and so one of the things I'm speaking on at the conference, Smashfly Transform conference. Yes, thank you. And one of the things I'm speaking on is the way we approach it. Our philosophy of talent acquisition is really we have four pillars, and really there's programmatic, which is the rule-based distribution. There's targeted advertising, which is really pinpointing a skill set or a geography of where you want. Then we have brand awareness, and we have kind of source and nurture. And the brand awareness piece is really the employee value proposition, or the why. What are the contractual elements? What are the emotional elements of why they're going to want to work for you? And those need to be put into a message. And that message, what we do is we help activate that message through media. So a lot of our clients already have what we'll call an EVP, or the employee value prop.
But this is all like web-based media.
All web-based, but the way it's used.
So it's not video and it's not audio.
No, it's sure. So Waze,
sure.
I used Waze to get here today.
Right.
And when you hit a stop sign, Waze delivers you a branded, ad on usually Dunkin' Donuts to sell me a coffee that I can get a mile away. We could deliver ads to just make you aware that an employer is hiring in that area. The person's not going to apply while they're driving, but it's that consistent awareness that's going to help them convert to become an applicant when they get that ad.
So you're saying location-based?
Sure, yeah, you can do location-based, just awareness. Dunkin' Donuts is hiring, Coca-Cola is hiring, CVS is hiring. Being able to deliver that based on a location.
Wait, Dunkin' Donuts is hiring?
I'm sure they are.
Hook me up.
Yeah, the West Coast folks that are listening don't even know what Dunkin' Donuts is, most likely. But they're changing them to Dunkin', I believe. Getting rid of the donuts.
Yeah. And here we are in Boston. I don't think they're happy about that.
Yeah.
Well, so, okay, favorite movie?
Oh, favorite movie, Die Hard.
Die Hard, why?
It's the best Christmas movie of all time, right?
It's the best Christmas movie of all time.
if you think
so we're just missing Miracle on 34th Street, It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah.
All the animation movies from the 70s.
I was raised not celebrating Christmas, so for me, that's the best Christmas movie of all time. But no, it's I would say John McClane and Die Hard is again the nostalgia of the first time I saw that. Back to the Future,
Okay, so let's talk about John McClane, right? So John is a hero candidate, right?
Yeah.
He comes to the job not knowing he's going to get the job, and then he's hired,
Yeah.
right? When does he make that decision that he's going to fight these guys? I guess it's when they come in with the guns,
Yeah.
right? They're all in that atrium, and he hears the gunshot, and then he's like, okay, I'm applying for this position. Nobody else was applying, and he hired himself.
Yeah.
Really more of a startup, entrepreneurial thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Bootstrapped. Without the shoes.
Yeah. Right? Bootstrapped without the shoes, literally.
Yeah.
So was he happy about the job? Did he have good job satisfaction? You think he would have done it again?
He did it 3 more times.
He did it 3 more times. I was going to say, wasn't it 4 more times?
You can't count the last one. I don't know.
You can't count that one?
You never count
you're
the fifth.
a fan.
Just like Rocky, you can't count the last one.
Oh, God. That's too funny.
Yeah.
So great job satisfaction.
Yeah.
Bootstrapped. And what would you say his employee experience was?
So a lot of training all at once, being thrown into the action without proper orientation or expectation setting. But he got the job done.
You got to say he's a bit of a glutton for punishment, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Like a lot of people, he really wanted to suffer.
Yeah.
And literally put his life on the line for the job.
Yeah.
Right?
Literally.
Yeah. And
but there was purpose, though. He had a greater purpose, which was Holly.
He had a greater purpose. Yeah. So the company, the mission was big.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah.
The love of his life.
Sure.
Wow.
Yeah. Mother of his kids. Right. So
there's
a purpose that drove him beyond the contractual or the obligation component of the job. It had purpose.
Do you think a lot of people work for that reason?
Oh, I think purpose is the key driver of everything we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think most people work because of their love for their family, their wanting to take care of their family, the fact that we live in that kind of economy where you need money?
Yeah. I think they start working because they need money and it's what you need to do to survive. And they continue working because of the purpose and fulfillment that it gives them. And
you think people are generally fulfilled at work?
I'd like to think so. Yeah. I don't know if that's too idealistic.
Think about yourself. I mean, do you feel like that the majority of your work, you were fulfilled?
I'm constantly striving for a little more.
I mean, now you're CEO of a company, you have like a certain amount of actualization, right? In that you have quite a bit of autonomy. You're not, although there's someone who probably manages you, your investors.
Sure. Yeah, I report to a board.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's different, right, versus being an employee.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, when we started the company, there was a vision and a mission and a hope that we were going to become something that could, make a meaningful difference. And it sounds cheesy, but really we did. We wanted to provide data. We wanted to provide analytics. What I get the most amount of enjoyment as we've grown, and we're over 100 employees now. As we've grown, there's been substantial career advancement for those that have been with us, that have been able to, expand their careers.
Which is satisfaction to you.
That's the most satisfaction.
So, as a recruiter, you like to see people get jobs, but now you made all these hires and it worked out.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You've probably seen weddings, new babies, stuff like that.
Yeah. We, babies, more babies than weddings, actually, which I don't know if those numbers.
Nice.
That actually is, the numbers don't add up, but if I think about recent, there's already married folks that are having babies, but I love seeing the growth in the company, the family atmosphere that it creates. You spend a lot of time with these people, and you get to know them really well over time, and seeing the fulfillment and the learning that they get. And if they're no longer fulfilled and we don't have a role for them, I openly tell them and encourage them, come to me, talk about it. If I have an option for you and we can keep you, I want to. Otherwise, I'm going to be a reference for you. Because as soon as you're not fulfilled,
I want to stop you there for a second. That's unique. So you have employees coming to you and saying, hey, Josh, this isn't what I want to do, or I'm not feeling comfortable. Is that what they say?
Sometimes. I have I am open about it, and I want them to be open and transparent with not just me or their managers.
You give that permission. You
I do.
Explicitly say what you want to be.
I try to, yeah. I mean, I had a conversation just this week with an employee around that. I actually asked him, "Are you fulfilled?" And he is. And I said, "The second you're not, let me know." And they don't always take you up on it because there is that certain fear of having that conversation.
But what do you do to mitigate that fear?
The only thing you can do is communicate. I believe in
it.
my leadership team. We try to over communicate and create clarity. We're not the best at it. We work really hard to try and do that ourselves.
Yeah.
Everybody that works directly for me, I try to be really transparent and clear and make sure that they're fulfilled.
Right.
And then hopefully that they're doing that with the team below them.
I have to
it's
say,
hard. It's really hard.
You have a very mature perspective in that you're okay with someone saying, "Hey, I'm not a fit. I'll go," and you'll make it comfortable, right?
Yeah.
You're not gonna not gonna just can them, right? You're gonna come up with a plan, help them transition, give them a reference.
Yeah. Not in all cases. But in most cases, if they've been
think about it.
Yeah, if they've been a great employee to us, we celebrate when people leave. We go out to do a happy hour when people leave, and
Sure.
I hope, as the CEO of Recruitics, that they've been able to take their experience here and leverage that for career growth.
Yeah.
Whether it's career growth within Recruitics, we need to be growing and we need to be able to creating opportunities for growth.
Yeah.
Or the economy is so good they can go across the street and have other exciting challenges. So
Sure.
we do celebrate that. It's certainly, when you lose good people, it hurts. And then some people we need to celebrate when they leave because they weren't the right fit.
Right.
So I try to take an approach, not to say that I'm perfect at it or that anybody is.
Right, yeah.
But I'd like to think that, especially in this economy, and we have offices in a lot of major metros. So in New York City, in Los Angeles, in London, Chicago, Atlanta, there's a lot of opportunity out there. And
Right.
we're very fortunate to get somebody, and I hope we can give them that fulfillment, with what we're doing. And we have great retention of our employees. We have a lot of people that have been with us for, going 5, 6. We just celebrated a 7-year anniversary yesterday with somebody.
Nice.
Which makes
you're
me feel
7
really
years
good.
old?
We're about 7 years old, yeah.
Yeah? Wow, that's exciting.
So 7.5. So this was one of their first hires that just hit 7 years.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, I hope to one day achieve that kind of growth with the company that we're building.
Yeah.
That's extraordinary. So, what's your goal with, and I say your goal because you're part of the talent acquisition solution. Oh, and before I finish the question, I'm going to diverge because I just do that. So, it seems like there is like a ton of software out, right? It's just tons and tons and tons and tons of software for recruiting. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Good question. Software is as good as the user. And I am guilty of wanting to always have another tool that makes things easier. And that's backfired on, just internally, in our company. We have a software component of our business, but we found that the customers that we work with want us to service with the software. So it's really the tech-enabled services that is, the agency services is what people really want. But we can't accomplish that without having the software that enables us to do that.
Right.
So for our business, it's good. It's enabled us to create efficiencies and scale and be able to create a lot of opportunity and for optimization within our clients. We have no business, basically winning agency customers that we do without our technology.
Yeah.
We have really smart people, but our technology, we look at our analytics as the epicenter of our business. And without that, our value is significantly diminished.
Right.
And
so
software
your
has
good
created
clients
that.
are buying really not just the tool, but the application of the tool,
Exactly.
the knowledge of the tool.
Yeah.
So I think I would agree with you that a lot of software that gets sold is just like, here, buy this.
Yeah.
And you buy it, and it just kind of dwindles.
Yeah.
It stinks.
But
if it's with like an organization, it's like, hey, we're gonna work with you. We're gonna hold your hand. We're gonna get you squared away. We're gonna make this part of your culture.
Sure. We completely failed at being a SaaS company. That was our original intent. Let's be a dashboard where people could push a button. And
because that ARR, man, that annual recurring revenue, that gets it's like dangling out there. It's like that little.
People get addicted to it. The economics of SaaS are very attractive.
Yeah.
And so that's where we started. We were going to be a dashboard for recruiters to be able to distribute their jobs and track the ROI. And what we found is they didn't really care about the data. They just wanted to get the candidates, and they wanted the volume of candidates.
Yeah.
And so we were able to drive the volume of candidates, but then they didn't want to push the button.
Right.
And as we went up to the enterprise and we went to really the large employers, we service job boards, staffing, the gig economy, direct employer. Really, some companies want to use our tech and only our tech, and that's great. They use it. But what we found is most want the tech, and they want us to provide that white glove service for them. And we embrace that. And so we've really, our technology has allowed us to be an agency. So to go back to your question of is technology in recruitment a good thing? I think it's a great thing.
Yeah.
I think the more innovation that happens in any industry creates momentum and movement.
Right.
There's a great book that myself and leadership team read last quarter, and it was really around the global economy of jobs and how technology jobs create momentum and create effect. For every engineer that gets hired at Twitter, 7 additional jobs are created that support that economy.
7 baristas at 7 Starbucks.
7 baristas, yeah, maybe not 7. It's probably a 2-to-1 ratio there, but hairstylists
Sure.
and whatnot. So not only is technology good, but the skill set and the labor that you
Right.
need to create technology and to create that creates a multiplier effect that is boosting economies. If you look at Seattle, Seattle before Amazon and Microsoft was nowhere
Sleepy
near.
town, yeah.
It was nowhere near Detroit.
So how can folks reach you if they want to?
Josh@recruitics.com is my email.
Cool.
It's recruitment and analytics. Most people misspell it the first time around, so it's recruitics.com.
Recruitics.
Recruitics. You said it. It's not with an X though.
No. You know the derivation of politics. What politics means?
No.
It comes from the Latin word poly, meaning many,
Yeah.
and ticks, meaning blood-sucking insects.
Okay. I'm going to rethink our name now.
Just kidding. No, it's a good name. So thanks so much for being on the show. And I'm going to see you at Social Recruiting Strategies Conference.
Yes, you will.
In Philadelphia, August 2, 3? 3, 4?
If you say so.
I think so.
I know it's in
Yeah,
August.
It's in August.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks so much.
I want to say 8th, but we'll.
No, really? Oh,
I
all right.
think we're off a week.
It's in August.
It's in August.
Yeah.
We'll see
And
you
it's the
there.
Social Recruiting Strategy Conference. You should come.
I'm there.
I mean, everyone who's listening should come.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll invite them.
Hi, this is the Lorne Epstein Show. I'm your host, Lorne Epstein. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Great talking to you.
Here's the deal. My friends at Brazen have spent the last year writing the book on recruiting chatbots. It's jam-packed with tons of the best practices and examples of companies who are successfully using chatbots to hire the best talent. We're talking companies like Walgreens, USAA, and Presidio. And because you're a listener of my show, they want to send you a free copy of the book. Just head over to brazen.com/chatbots to get a free copy today. You can get a copy sent to your door for postage, or you can download the digital version right now. Don't wait, because the book is flying off the shelves. And as a bonus, if you sign up today, they'll send you their #1 downloaded ebook on winning the war for talent. Again, go to brazen.com/chatbots to get all this for free today. If you want to sell more to HR and TA professionals, we can help you bring your brand into the ears of over 100,000 decision makers around the world. To advertise on this and other shows, contact us at lorne@lorneepstein.com. I'm excited about attending my first Social Recruiting Strategies Conference in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, this August 6th, 7th, and 8th. Over 3 days, you and I will be immersed in interactive learning experiences that'll teach us today's most effective recruiting strategies and techniques. The world's best recruiting experts are coming from CVS, Siemens, and AMC networks, amongst others. Don't miss out on the fun and learning. Register today at socialrecruitingstrategies.com.